Welcome everyone back to Houston and Rice Stadium as ABC Sports College Football presents the 83rd renewal against Rice against Texas. And here come the Rice Owls onto the field, buoyed by two very impressive wins on the road, led by their head coach Kenny Hatfield, now in his 4th year here in Houston. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, along with John Spagnola, and welcome to Houston and Rice Stadium. John, Texas has to discover a lot about themselves today, still trying to figure out what happened a couple of weeks ago. 66-3 losers against UCLA. The defense with their hands full today against Rice.
You know, that's right, Mark. You know, anytime you go against a wishbone-style offense, you have to choose your poison defensively. And by that I mean you have to take away the strength of the triple option and make the weakest component beat you. You know, against Rice, it's just not that easy. And here's why. There's a fullback right there, Benji Wood. He operates inside the tackles. He's a fullback who runs like a tailback. The quarterback operates outside the tackles, and he's a quarterback who runs like a scatback. And then you have the fullback, Michael Perry, operates outside. He's a halfback. Well, he runs like a halfback. These guys, all three of them, average 90-plus yards a game. There's no weak link to this offense.
They get huge chunks of real estate, and it's almost like throwback football. The big question today, James Brown, can he go? Our guy, Gary Reasons, has more downstairs.
Well, Mark, you mentioned James Brown. The ankle brace he's going to wear. It's an active ankle brace, allows him to get forward motion on it, but it's going to really inhibit him side to side. I watched him during warm-ups early. It seemed like he's moving very well, dropping back to pass and also running the football. I talked to John Makovic about him before the game, and he used an old phrase that old singer used to use. He said, James, he feels good.
You better hope. James Brown also sang a song called Payback, and that's what Texas will be looking for today against Rice. We'll take a break and come back. Back and ready for the opening kickoff here at Rice Stadium in Houston. Phil Dawson getting set to kick off for Texas. Rice won the toss and has elected to receive, which, by the way, is a change in pattern for them. There's Michael Perry back to receive the opening kickoff for the Rice Owls. Rice coming in with a record of 2-1, having won last week against Northwestern. Texas, meanwhile, even at 1 apiece. And we're underway. It's going to be Perry at the 1-yard line. Finds a little seam up the middle. Perry still on his feet. And Perry with a nice start for the Rice Owls out to the 34-yard line. The tackle made by Joseph Walker. And now let's take a look at the Chili starting lineup. First of all, a look at the strength of this offensive unit for Rice, the offensive line. Bevan, Gray, Viator, Torello, and Spinner. The receivers, some might call them just props. Jason Blackwell and Byron Godfrey. They don't throw a lot. And there's a look at the backfield. Nelson, the quarterback, Newhouse, Perry, and Benji Wood, the fullback and leading rusher for Rice. At first down and 10 from the 33. Here's the option. It's Perry. Runs off the right tackle out to the 43-yard line. Gains about 8 yards on the play. Tony Holmes making the tackle. Texas's defense was scored on its first 8 possessions in the last game. Aaron Humphrey, a new starter, defensive end, moving over from the linebacker spot. Linebackers also with a change up front. Brandon Nava moves into a starting role for Mesquite, Texas. And James Clark and Greg Brown, 2 new starting safeties today for the oft-victimized Texas secondary. Second down and short. And Benji Wood, the fullback, is stuck right near the line of scrimmage. Not sure he got the first down.
Well, that just looks like great penetration up front. Chris Akins, one of the matchups that these Rice coaches were very concerned about. Akins, of course, 36 starts here in Texas. Strongest man, arguably, in college football. But, you know, Rice did well on their first down yardage mark. And that's something we'll look at all day today. Look at the bench press, 551 pounds, 760-pound squat, and he's going against players that are considerably smaller than he.
Third down and 1, John, and they give it to the second man through, Leshber, and it's going to be close, but he appears to have gotten the first down. Clint Leshber, number 18, the 6'1", 220-pound sophomore, gets the first down for Rice.
Well, he barely got that on the right side, and I'm wondering why Benji Wood is out after only one carry. He played pretty much the whole game against Northwestern. Leshper is a converted linebacker.
First and 10 now from the 45-yard line for the Rice Owls. Their opening possession of the ball game. Full house backfield. They give it to Perry again. He gained 8 yards last time on that play. This time gets about 3. Ran it between the tackles, Dusty Renfro and Donald McCowan, number 25, making the tackle for Texas.
Dusty Renfro was moved over to middle linebacker, taking Aaron Humphrey's spot, number 46. The guy they wanted to play in the middle on that defense. Brandon Nava, as we said, came over and also played defense as well in that linebacker. So there's a lot of changes for this Texas defense.
That has been the theme of the week, last 2 weeks for Texas since losing to UCLA. Second down and 7 for Rice. Couple of fakes. Got a man open downfield, but Nelson takes off himself. Pushed out of bounds near midfield at the 49-yard line by Dwight Kirkpatrick, number 45, starting linebacker for Texas. Had Byron Godfrey open downfield, and look at Rice's potent ground game.
Yeah, they run for 347 yards a game. That's number 3 in the NCAA. 5.9 yards a rush.
John, they average
first downs.
They average 7.1 yards on first down.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do to win this football game today, Mark. Time of possession is also very key to them. Their last 2 wins was over 40 minutes.
It's third down and 3 right now for Rice. Nelson keeps it himself, and he gets the first down over the 45-yard line, falling forward to the 44. Aaron Humphrey making the tackle on the play. Humphrey playing out of that new defensive end position for him. He'd started the season at linebacker.
Great thing about Chad Nelson, watch him take his key read. He's reading the defensive lineman that he has to read in that option. He takes the football, puts it in, inserts it into the fullback, and the fullback just doesn't squeeze his arms until he knows Chad Nelson's giving him the football. It's amazing how well he runs this option, and he likes to run. 4.7-yard average. He's a tough physical kid. You know, against Northwestern, he was out for about 5 plays because he was knocked woozy a couple times in that football game.
And when you have an option quarterback, he's going to take some hits. Wood now back in the ball game, along with Perry and Rod Newhouse. Little twins formation by Rice. Nelson keeps it himself, crossing the 40, down to the 39-yard line. Brandon Nava making the tackle. Gain of about 4 or 5 on the play.
You know, the neat thing about this, when you look at a wishbone attack, and of course Rice does it, the 3 service academies run the wishbone attack or the triple option out of that wishbone attack. And you know, what's interesting is normally you have to defend against 2 running backs. But in this set, you have 4 running backs that you have to account for defensively. And when you don't see it a lot, because only 4 out of 112 schools do it, it's hard to defend in a couple of weeks' preparation.
Second down and 5. Michael Perry stuffed up right at the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. It'll be third down, about 5 or 6 to go. Another third down situation for Rice. They've already converted on 2 already today. Chris Akins making the tackle, number 96, big nose guard for Texas.
I think the one key here for Texas defensively is penetration, Mark. And that's if they can penetrate, get a lot of defensive linemen through gaps upfield, it disrupts all the mesh points in this triple option, and it makes it difficult on the quarterback.
And we have a timeout down on the field called by the Rice Owls. They'll be facing third down and 6 when we come back to Rice Stadium. Ken Hatfield in his 4th year as head coach, the only coach in the WAC to win the award, the Coach of the Year award at 2 different schools. John, a crucial 3rd and 6 coming up.
It sure is. Get a look at that offensive line as they break. They're small in stature, but man, they can run. All of them are good athletes.
9th play of the Owl drive. Nelson pitches it to Perry. He gets to the perimeter and then some. Touchdown Rice. A 40-yard bolt by Michael Perry, and Rice is on the board.
Michael Perry, you can see the speed he has on the outside. The timeout certainly was well worth it for the Rice Owls. And we'll see Chad Nelson work down the left side, and he's going to draw the defense in and get the pitch. But watch the pitch relationship sustained all the time there by Perry. He knows he's going to stay in unison with his quarterback. He's on a full gallop, and when he gets that ball, he does not break stride at all and comes right into the end zone. Great execution of the triple option. This team does it as well as anybody.
Scott Grimes in for the extra point, and it's good. And Rice has jumped out to an early 7-0 lead. In 9 plays, Michael Perry puts it in the house. Rice has a 7-0 lead. We'll be right back. Grimes kicks it off, and that's what he does, folks. He puts the ball in the end zone. Scott Grimes has a very strong leg. And now let's take a look at the Chile starting lineup for the Texas Longhorns. I'm sure they're glad to have Octavius Bishop back at his starting position at tackle. Wood, Beebiger, Adams, White, McGarity, and Steve Bradley, the tight end. McGarity, the deep threat there. James Brown, the starting quarterback. His health questionable today. Ricky Williams and Jeffrey Clayton in the backfield. And there's a look at the 6-year head coach of the Texas Longhorns, John Mackovic. First down and 10 from the 20. Backs out of the eye. It's Clayton and Williams. And we have flags on Texas's first play of the game.
Well, if that's any indication right there, James Brown certainly looked like he was healthy, sprinted into his drop back. We'll be monitoring that ankle all day, as will Gary Reasons on the sideline.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Not an auspicious beginning for John Mackovic's crew. It'll be first down and 15 after that infraction. Look at that heavy tape job on James Brown's ankle. He's out of Beaumont, Texas. Now a senior.
The most talked about ankle in Texas, isn't it?
Sure is today. First and 15 from the 15. McGarity in motion to the bottom of your screen. They run it on first down. That's Jeffrey Clayton, the 5'10", 203-pound senior. Now let's take a look at that Rice defensive unit. Up front, not a lot of depth up front. The ends are the strength of that defensive unit. 87 and 82, Clifton, one of the leaders up front. Then the linebackers might be the strength of this unit. Ladophius McCullough is their best cover guy in the secondary. He's out of Tyler, Texas.
And both safeties have been moved around a bit. Carlin Bedford had some knee surgery. He'll play a little bit. Londy Smith is out with his knee being scoped, so both safeties have moved around.
Looking down, here's Ricky Williams at the 15 out to the 20. Ricky Williams brought down at the 26-yard line, and James Brown dropping back that time, completing the screen pass. It'll be third down and about 4 to go for the first down. Clifton in on the tackle that time for Rice.
You know, you look at this right now, what is it, Mark, third and less than 5 without the penalty. You know, you have a first down here. And this is really what happened a couple weeks ago against UCLA. A lot of stupid mistakes and penalties early in that game, and then the turnovers snowballed, and they were out of that game midway through the second quarter.
Third down and 4. Inside handoff. That's Clayton. Clayton brought down short of the first down at the 29-yard line. Travis Ortega with a nice tackle coming up from his safety spot. Well, next week, America's biggest road show invades Tallahassee. Miami takes on Florida State in a doubleheader on ABC. Miami struggling right now at 1-2. Florida State undefeated at 3-0. Then the second half of your doubleheader. Iowa against Ohio State. Notre Dame, Stanford. A&M taking on Colorado in a Big 12 battle. Mark Schultes now standing on his own 16-yard line. Hunting to McCullough. Stands on his own 32. Schultes with a high kick. And he gets dropped right away. A flag down at the 25-yard line.
Oh, I don't know if that's going to be inside that 2-yard zone. That was awfully close.
You're supposed to give the returner 6 feet. Anton Hector lowered the boom on McCullough. And the question now becomes, is it a 5 or 15-yard penalty? That is at the discretion of the officials.
What do you think when you lay a guy out and put him on his back?
I'm not Phi Beta Kappa, but I'd say it's 15. And there's another flag back at the 21-yard line. Here's Schultes.
His legs extended. Oh, yeah. Somebody runs right into him. That's number 19. David Granardo ran into him. Then downfield. Boy, that's real close to being called right there. Anton Hector runs into the returner, Ladolphius McCullough. So we have offsetting penalties.
See how our officials summarize this.
Can't have penalties happening at two further parts in the field, can you?
No.
All the way to the left, all the way to the right.
Running into the kicker against the defense, kick catch interference against the offense. Those penalties offset will repeat the kick.
There we go. We'll play it again. Now, John Makovic understood what was at stake here, and so did Ken Hatfield coming into this game. Hatfield said, should they beat Texas today, it would be huge for the program, because last week they knocked off the two-time Big Ten champs, Northwestern. Should they knock off Texas, they win against the Big 12 champs from a year ago. That puts them on a national platform in terms of recruiting, the type of student athletes that they recruit.
Yeah, it really does. And, you know, he loves special teams. He's an old special teams player. He takes a lot of pride in it.
Schultes again and McCullough again. Boy, he lives life dangerously, doesn't he, John?
He sure does.
Avoiding the fair catch, brought down at the 31-yard line by Quentin Wallace. A 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. The Owls lead by a touchdown when we come back. Back to the action, 1st and 10, Texas at the 30-yard line. They trail 14-0, and James Brown goes to work through the air, complete. Out to the 37-yard line, that's Jamel Thompson. Number 12 on the reception, Larry Ruffin making the tackle.
Well, you know, number 12 there, he was the torchbearer for the escort for the 1996 Olympics. He might be the torchbearer here. Let's go back. Wayne McGarity right here is running, and we'll see where he gets hit by Adrian Sadler. Number 27 comes in and hits him, knocks the ball loose, but also looks like he catches part of his left knee, and that's what they're working on with Wayne McGarity on the sideline.
Gary Reasons is over there, and hopefully get a report from him soon. It's 2nd down and 2 for the Longhorns. Single back and 3 wide receivers in this set. Little screen pass to the tight end, Derek Lewis. Lewis hauled down by his neck collar at the 41-yard line by Rashad Reynolds.
Call that play. Call the play. Go ahead. What's the name of it?
That was Steelers roll left.
You've been dying to use that. Everybody knows Derek Lewis is that hero on 4th down against Nebraska in the Big 12 championship game. Man, Jonesy for 2 days has been calling that play to me.
It was a big moment a year ago in that Big 12 championship game when Lewis made that huge reception on 4th and short against Nebraska. Went on to win that game. It's 1st down and 10. That's their first down of the ball game for the Longhorns. Little draw. This is Little Earl. Ricky Williams pushed out of bounds at Rice's 32. Close to another Texas 1st down. A pickup of 10 yards, and it's another 1st down for Texas. The 32-yard line of Rice. Quick hitter to Ricky Williams. Puts his hat down and lowered the hit. Man, he ran strong. Williams down to the 17-yard line. Travis Ortega took a beating on this one.
Yeah, just a little full block. The center comes inside, Bigger 58, and the guard comes around, and there's just a gigantic hole inside for Ricky Williams, who, you know, given the choice between running around somebody or over them, he pretty much is going to put the head down every time.
And Ortega right there is going to need a little Excedrin after the game for that hit. 1st and 10. 3 wide receivers in for the Horns. Brown's going to pass. Quick 3-step drop complete. Near another 1st down at the 9-yard line. That was Derek Lewis again. Lewis says, I have a lot more to accomplish this year to try and build on that big play he made in last year's Big 12 championship game against Nebraska. He's had a really good year so far. Been very ambitious. Has worked hard, too.
Well, you know, they poll all the players and ask them a variety of categories, best dressed, worst dressed, all that stuff. He's the best storyteller, and he's the comedian of the football team.
Williams and Ricky Brown now lining up out of the eye on 2nd down and 2. This is Williams taking it outside. Touchdown, Texas. So James Brown got the job done, marching his team 70 yards on that drive.
I thought he was going to do the Lambeau leap for a second there. He headed toward the corner of the end zone to the fans.
And it was a nice block on the play by Ricky Brown, too, John.
That's blocking downfield there by David Aaron. He gets a piece of somebody, but you see a good block by the fullback right there, Ricky Brown. We'll come back to it.
The extra point by Phil Dawson is good. And Texas cuts the lead to just 7 points on, like I said, an impressive drive.
Again, watch the fullback, Ricky Brown, coming to the outside. Williams just races to the end zone. A good block here by the tight end as well. On the right side, Steve Bradley. And there it is. Good block by the fullback.
Well, he put down his baseball bat, forgot about trying to hit those change-ups, concentrating on the pigskin. Has his team within 7 right now. We'll be back. 14-7, Rice leading. This is Clayton. Gets outside, pushed out of bounds at the 49-yard line by McCullough, who's made a big play already with an interception today.
Well, you know, Clayton's getting a lot of activity in this football game. He only had 4 carries coming in, no yards. And today he's playing a little bit of fullback and some halfback. He's a pretty versatile senior, but he's getting some action, and he's done well when he's carried the football.
Sure has. A bit of a surprise. All at the 49-yard line. Ricky Williams in the backfield. He's the man tabbed Little Earl. After Earl Campbell, a former great of Texas. And he gets the call right here. Williams scored last time, and you know what? He's going to do it again. Ricky Williams with a bolt of lightning into the end zone, 48 yards. That's why they call him Little Earl. Speed, power, and the whole package.
You know, it's great blocking up front. This is the second time we've seen the Texas offense go to the right side with Ricky Williams. Obviously, they feel they have some mismatches on the right side there with Jay Humphrey, the big offensive tackle, number 67.
And the school's all-time leading scorer, Dawson, in for the extra point. And we are knotted up at 14 apiece. John, you did say it was going to be a shootout.
Yeah. Watch the offensive line just come off the football right here. Jay Humphrey on the right side there. Ben Adams, number 79. A real good push on the right side. Not a whole lot of decision-making for Ricky Williams as he just takes the football, and the hole is there by design. He pushes off Huffman, 34, the strong safety with a vicious stiff arm, and Ricky Williams into the end zone again. So Ricky was shut down a couple weeks ago by UCLA. Is having a great day so far today.
Well, I mentioned that they call him Little Earl. He's run for 81 yards so far today. He and the former Heisman Trophy winner Earl Campbell have a very special relationship. We caught one on tape.
I think you're more athletic than I am, because I saw a couple run where you got the ball, you went off tackle, you jumped over somebody, you stripped on another guy, and you went up the sideline. Yeah, I saw that. And I'm not a big jumper. I can't get over people.
You know what, though? What he does is pretty good.
He runs through them or past them. Why go over them?
Yep. And their statistics at their respective points in their careers, Williams, a junior, are almost identical, too. Mark Jones, along with John Spagnola and Gary Reasons, the identity of the injured Rice player down in the field still in question right now.
I think it's J.T. Smith, Judd Smith, number 96.
And now we've received confirmation that it is. Smith out of Plano, Texas.
He puts JT on the back of his jersey. There's 6 Smiths on this team. Judson Tyler Smith. Looks like he's getting up pretty quickly. Well, that's a good sign.
Sure is. Smith, just a sophomore. Just 2 seniors play on that Rice defense.
They need him in there. He's one of the more stout defensive linemen here. He's 6'1", not all that big, but 280 pounds. So at least he matches up in the weight department with the people he's going against today.
And you were talking about the fact that John Mackovic was actually Ken Hatfield was talking about the fact that the Texas offensive lineman might be holding a little bit. Keep an eye on that battle in the trenches on 2nd down and 10. And the offset eye. It's Williams in the flat, makes a nice move and has the 1st down. Ricky Williams, you know, there's one thing that he does better, if I may say it, better than Earl Campbell. They compare the two of them, but Earl Campbell wasn't quite the receiver that Ricky Williams is.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's going to be a screenplay of linemen coming out here making blocks. I'm wondering if, you know, this is outside of the clip zone. Watch as the lineman comes out to the left side there. You see that little push there on Andy Clifton, number 82. That was almost the clip, but it wasn't called. It looked like he actually overran it more than he was clipped.
And it's nice to see Smith back in the ball game for Rice. Under 3 minutes to play in the 1st half. Rice up by a field goal. Little play fake, a waggle, tipped and caught. Bradley, the tight end, down to the 39-yard line, about 4 short of the 1st down. Ortega making yet another tackle for Rice. 2nd down, about 3 to go. It wasn't a pretty looking play, John, but it worked.
Well, Bradley was wide open, and had that ball not been tipped, he definitely would have at least made the 1st down, but that allowed that defense to catch up a little bit and Ortega to come over and make the tackle.
Bradley going out of the ball game. He sat out all of 1996 with a back injury. Did some arduous rehab work in his back. 2:10 to play now in the 1st half. 2nd down and 3. Little draw play. And a nice hit on Ricky Brown at the 39-yard line. Benford, Thomas Benford. Real pleasant young man. We had a chance to meet a couple of days ago at practice, John, from Lamarck, Texas. Says he has some friends on the other side of the ball that he was looking forward to playing against. And you really marveled with his major, didn't you?
Yeah, computational and applied math. And you and I both said, what's that? And then he was kind enough to explain it to him. It's subspecialty of engineering.
With building bridges and splitting atoms someday. This is the 9th play of the Texas drive. It's 3rd down and 2. Brown out of the shotgun. Complete for the 1st down at the 32-yard line. James Brown had an eternity to throw. Ricky Brown made the catch.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. I mean, if you've got a bad ankle and you're concerned about your quarterback, that was great pocket protection up front. Ryan Fiebiger, the center, operating out of the shotgun. He's number 58. 79 is Ben Adams. 65 there's Travis Wood. I mean, nobody gets near the quarterback at all. Gives him some vision, and he completed the pass.
1st down and 10 from the 33. Same man who caught it last play. Brown on the loose. Ricky Brown down to the 12-yard line. And this Texas offense is firing on all cylinders now.
A lot of backs playing today for Texas. Hodges Mitchell, Jeffrey Clayton, Ricky Brown, of course, Ricky Williams. There's a lot of talent in this backfield for the Longhorns. Ricky Brown came into the game with only 2 carries and 3 total yards, and that was a real nice run inside. And you know, this Texas team, when Mackovic has led this team, is very efficient, 83% scoring inside the 20.
1st and 10 from the 13. Ricky Williams put it on the ground. Rice has the ball. That's their 12th turnover of the season. Thomas Benford making the recovery for Rice.
Now they score 82% when they get inside the 20.
The unthinkable happening for Texas. They were moving along so smoothly until this.
Let's see, Ricky Williams comes around. Let's see if the handoff, and the ball is right there, but he never really secures the football once it's inserted by James Brown. The ball goes on the ground. Andy Clifton, number 82, is a pro prospect. There's some scouts down here looking at some tape of him. Think he's got a real good chance. He played in the shadows the last couple of years of Ndikwe Kalu. ND is now with the Eagles. Clifton, the lone senior on defense that starts for Rice. Now approaching a half a minute to play, and irate John Makovic on the sideline. Yeah, that should never happen. Boy, you can hear John. He's upset. I mean, that's a simple, basic play. It's a play you want to call because, you know, the offensive line's coming off the ball. The offense is getting some confidence, and then they turn it over like that and get no points. He has got to figure out how to rid his team of turnovers, and there's look at Clifton, who made that fumble recovery moments ago to kill the Texas drive. After 30 minutes of play, the Rice Owls lead the Texas Longhorns 17-14, a big game for both teams. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. And we're going to have John Saunders in New York with Valvoline Halftime 97. The score at halftime, Rice leading Texas by a field goal. At halftime, as we get ready for the start of the third quarter, James Brown, his health was questionable coming into this ball game, and well, let's check out some of his footwork in the first half. He was 6 of 7 passing. Well, you know, that left ankle, you can see it's heavily taped, and when a foot is taped on the outside, they call that a spat. But there he has to move to his left, which would normally be a difficult motion. He moved well there. Here's a drop back. It looks like he tripped as he was going back. That didn't hurt him. And here he throws to his left, steps, plants, throws. I don't see any ill effects so far in that left ankle. And there was one time where he took off and ran on his own, and he looked pretty explosive on that too. Here's now the Dean Witter halftime statistics. Yeah, pretty even in yardage overall. You can see that Texas running the football at 141 yards. Rice, no surprise, 176 yards on the ground. But the turnovers, the 2 turnovers, the second series, the interception James Brown threw, that led to a touchdown by Rice. And then when Ricky Williams put the football on the ground, that cost Texas 3 or 7 points. And that's why we have a -3 and 7 there. And here is that key play. Ricky Williams gets the football, steps inside, but never secures the football, goes down on the ground, and Andy Clifton, right there, number 82, causes that fumble, and it's picked up by the Rice defense. So that denies Texas any points. The Longhorns last in the country in turnover margin as we look at Ricky Williams. Downstairs to Gary Reasons.
Well, Mark, I talked to both coaches. Start with John Makovic. You hit it right on the head, John. He was very upset about that fumble. He said it was because of a missed assignment. That's why he was ranting and raving on the sidelines. He said they have to protect the ball, and they want to come out more aggressively in offense. They did move the ball well against Rice. He was very upset about that turnover. However, Coach Hatfield is very pleased with his team right now. He said the first 5 minutes of the second half is going to be the determining factor for this ball game, and he knows something may happen early in the kicking game for a big play. He wants to take control in the first 5 minutes of the second half. John, Mark?
Yeah, he did tell us that he thought special teams would be the determining factor as to who won this game. And in the third quarter, Rice has outscored its opponents 36-13 this year. Texas receiving 2 yards deep. That's Hodges Mitchell, the true freshman, over the 25. Hodges Mitchell, nice return for Texas out to the 36-yard line, where he's finally tackled by David Bernardo. Boy, he's a 10.31 100-meter sprinter, and you got a sense of how exciting Hodges Mitchell can be in the open field. Ricky Williams in the first half was pretty productive himself. He ran it 10 times for a total of 97 yards. Left, right, up the middle, receiving. 5 carries, 30 yards, 2 for 3 yards up the middle, and on that right side, that's where he had his touchdown run, 3 for 53. It is 1st and 10 for Texas from the 36-yard line. This is Ricky Williams. Brought down at the 39. Got a little over 2 on the play. They're going to call ball of 3. Second down and 7. Ruffin making the tackle for Rice. Talked about Williams coming in a little lighter earlier in the ball game. He lost about 10 pounds. Says he feels better, quicker, and he hasn't lost any of his strength.
Well, John Mackovic believes he's the most complete back in all of college football.
Second down and 7. Thompson in motion. Handed off again. That's Ricky Brown. His forward progress taking him over the 40 to the 41-yard line. Reynolds making the tackle for Rice. Back to Ricky Williams, number 11 for Texas. He's now rushed for over 100 yards in a game for 12 consecutive games in his career. Pardon me, for the 12th time in his career. There's a look at the two-sport star from San Diego, California. Against UCLA, carried the ball 13 times for just 36 yards. Third down and 4 for the Longhorns. Brown's going to pass out of the shotgun. And he bounced it incomplete for Williams at the 46. So Texas will have to punt.
James Brown did not look comfortable throwing that football to his right side. He didn't step into it. He threw it. I mean, certainly Ricky Williams was open enough that that ball should have been completed. It's not a good throw by James Brown.
Brown's been saying that he's been thinking about that injured ankle all week during practice.
Well, he went through such an ordeal 2 years ago. I mean, every week he had that thing injured, and he played with such courage back then. I'm sure he thought that whole thing was behind him.
Schultes punting. McCullough back at the 11-yard line. Eludes rookie tackles, still unbelievably on his feet. Boy, Dafius McCullough with a nice run back. A 47-yard punt, returned it 11 yards. Schultes, the punter, making the tackle on the play. Chad Nelson was a busy man during the first 30 minutes of play. Look at his runs in the first half. 25 to the left side of the field. 14 up the middle and 26 on the other side.
He was active, carrying the football all over, you know, and I like the way he picks his spots in the open field.
Give it to the fullback that time. That's Benji Wood from Atlanta, Georgia. Wood's an interesting story. He was at Clemson when Ken Hatfield was coaching there, and then when Hatfield left, Wood, his position was pretty much eliminated because they went to a single back formation, and he said he wanted to transfer, and
he kept calling and calling, you know, and Hatfield realized, hey, that's the last thing I can do, you know, is leave Clemson, come here, and have you follow me over. But Benji Wood wanted nothing to do with Clemson and wanted to come here.
I'm going to stay. I'm going to go, so I want to come to Rice. Nelson keeps it and has the first down over the 35-yard line. Wallace making the tackle for the Horns, along with Woodard. First down for Rice. Just underway here in the second half of play. 12:30 to play in the quarter. And let's look at Benji Wood, a pro prospect. Had 190 yards and 4 touchdowns against Tulane 2 games ago. First down and 10. That's Perry, still on his feet. He has broken tackles. 2 tackles on that play.
Yeah, and that's disturbing if I'm a Texas fan, because when I watched UCLA pummel that team a couple weeks ago, Skip Hicks, the running back there, was getting away, running downfield with broken tackles. Let's watch Perry come back on that counter play. Good block inside there on Navin, number 51. And again, you see Perry just running through a couple of different tacklers. And, you know, that is something I think that's plagued this Texas defense. Even with the experienced secondary last year, Mark, they did not tackle that well in the secondary.
That's a good point. Second down and 2. Perry again runs through the arms of one would-be tackler, making it out to the 49-yard line, and another Rice first down. Babineau making the tackle from a strong safety spot. And This Rice offense will just wear you down by hanging onto the ball via the wishbone.
And they'll make you do something outside of your element. You know, you start to press. Rice has had a couple of first downs. Now you change things defensively. Or as a player, you say, let me take on more than my assignment. Let me do a little bit more. And, man, that's when they get you with the big play. Because you have to play assignment football on defense.
Nelson, and good penetration that time by the Texas defense. Babineau shot the gap and made a nice play. He's from Port Arthur, Texas.
And that is assignment defense. And again, that's what really hurts the triple option wishbone attack. And that's when you can get people into the backfield. The quarterback has nothing to do, no way to operate. People are all over him like that.
They lost a little yardage on that play. They lost 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for Rice. The Owls coming into the ball game, the number 3 rushing offense in the country. It's Bobby Jack Wright, the defensive coordinator for the Horns. Second down and 12. Nelson with a late pitch to Perry. Perry out to the 46-yard line. We're going to pitch it back to New York and our man John Saunders.
Mark, and we'll pitch it with the Burger King update. Ohio State starting to roll now. Joe Germain, boy, has he been terrific since replacing Stanley Jackson. Here he goes, 28 yards to David Boston for the touchdown. Germain 6 of 6 for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. Off the bench, 21-10. Mark.
All right, John. And, you know, somewhere in Columbus, there's a Buckeye football fan saying, okay, let's just wait until Michigan, okay?
Yeah, that's for sure. It's amazing how interchangeable those 2 quarterbacks are, though, in Ohio State.
It is 3rd down and 5. Nelson passing. Has Blackwell complete, and Blackwell went high to make the grab. 1st down, Rice. He really zipped it in there, Nelson did.
You know, this is the same play we saw earlier on a 3rd down conversion back in the 1st quarter. Little play action in the backfield, and Blackwell works one-on-one with Tony Holmes. Holmes was a lot closer this time, but he still wasn't able to make the play, and a great reception by Blackwell.
It's a 1st down to the 34-yard line.
Blackwell, by the way, played on the baseball team last year, and he batted 1,000. He was 1 for 1.
Not bad. You're a math major. 1st down and 10. Perry runs it to the wide side of the field, brought down to the 30-yard line. By the way, that completed pass on the last play by Chad Nelson was his 3rd pass attempt of the ball game. He's 2 of 3 today. John Mackovic still tries to figure out this Rice offense. We have lost the use of the game clock. I hope to inform you as time rolls on by an official on the field how much time is remaining in the period. 17-14 Texas, trailing by a field goal. Nelson with a pitch out of bounds to the 20-yard line. It's last year's quarterback, Chad Richardson, pushed out by Hector on the play.
Watch Chad Nelson again operate inside. And watch how he fakes to the fullback and eyeballs downfield. Now that defense is soft, and he realizes he can start to stretch that defense and put pressure on the perimeter, which is what he does. And right there, Holmes has to make the tackle on Richardson. But it's not after a substantial gain by Rice.
1st down and 10 from the 19-yard line for Rice. Give it to the fullback, Benji Wood, plowing his way between the tackles. Tough running down to the 11-yard line. Wood coming into this ball game, number 21 in the nation in rushing. Holmes and Babineau making the tackle on the play. It's 2nd down and 2 now. And we talked about seeing a lot of backs from Texas offensively. Rice is using a lot of different people today, too. We've seen Richardson carry the ball a few times today. This is the 11th play of the Rice drive. Nelson keeps it himself. Touchdown, Rice. He is so instinctive running that offense.
You know, this was a little bit of a wrinkle on the option attack. You know, you talk about different types of option plays. This was a bit of a freeze option. Watch how the quarterback gets the ball and steps back this time instead of getting everything going. And look how that took the defense over on the left side of the football, and then he just steps around. It almost looks too simple, doesn't it? Like, how can that happen?
Here I am thinking, why don't other offensive coordinators turn to this kind of offense? It's a great equalizer. The extra point is good. Nelson has run 17 times today for a total of 80 yards, and he's tacked up 2 touchdowns on the board. His team leads by 10 when we return to Houston. And there are rumblings already of Bob Davie in South Bend, Indiana.
And Ron Paulus, for sure. Yeah, they expected it to be a great year where everybody came together and coaches and players all loved one another and everything else. And, you know, when you don't get it done on the field quickly, things can turn.
That was a fast honeymoon period. 1st and 10 for Texas. James Brown still in at quarterback to Ricky Williams. Williams pushed out at the 31-yard line. He has a horn first down. Sadler making the tackle on the play for Rice.
Well, this screenplay was set up ever so well. Adrian Sadler played off his block. Number 27, you'll see him flashing on the left side. Go ahead and roll it. See Williams go back. Now the linemen check. Now they go downfield. And watch this block by the left tackle as Octavius Bishop just doesn't quite get Sadler. If he gets Sadler a little bit, Ricky Williams is gone for a touchdown.
1st down and 10. Inside this time, it's Williams. Now, one of the position changes this year, John, they've moved him to more of a tailback position this year. And interestingly enough, Earl Campbell underwent the same change in his junior season.
Well, you know, a lot of players go through that. You know, a lot of the running backs at USC, the great ones over the years, started out at the fullback position. And, you know, Ricky said, hey, whatever I can do for the team. He volunteered to go back to fullback, and that would help Hodges Mitchell play in that tailback position. But, you know, Ricky is very adept playing in either position.
He actually prompted the move, volunteering for it. Mitchell in motion. Brown hits his receiver at the 47-yard line. That was David Aaron, another one of those true freshmen playing today for the Longhorns. And he's right near the 1st down marker at the 47-yard line. McCullough making another tackle on defense for Rice.
Defense, you can see the defensive coaches are going crazy right now. They're screaming for a holding call, which they never got. And there did look like there's some jersey grab on that play. Let's watch and see right here at the left tackle position, Travis Wood, or left guard. Stop it right there. See that right there? We had a little bit of a hold actually by Ryan Fiebiger, the center, who was entangled, and that's what Hatfield went crazy about on the sidelines.
He's working the officials right now. 1st and 10 though for Texas. On the right side of the field at the 47. Brown, quick 3-step drop, completes the pass. 2 yards short of the 1st down to Brian White, a 5'10 junior. Sadler in on the coverage for Rice, and if you just joined us, White making the catch. Keep in mind that Wayne McGarity suffered a knee injury in the first half of play and is gone for the afternoon.
Let's go back to this again. Ryan Fiebiger, watch number 8 right there in the center. Now just watch the end of the play right here. Here's what Hatfield saw. Now right there it's okay, but right there, that little tug at the end with the left hand in full view of that sideline, and they got all over the officials for that.
2nd down and 2. Ricky Williams off tackle over the left side down to the 33-yard line. Little Earl getting about 5 on that play. Sadler making the tackle that time along with Ruffin. Speculation is that Ricky Williams may not play any more baseball.
Well, he's not. He likes the sport.
Yeah.
You know, and Ken Oberkfell, his manager down there with Piedmont Bo Weevil, said, you know, up until a couple weeks left before he had to leave, he batted over 300, and then, well, he went for, you know, over 32 slumps.
Those will do it to you. Started thinking about football.
I think he did.
He's thinking about football right now and trying to make his way through that Rice defense. Now to the 27, roughing in on the tackle again for Rice. Ricky Williams getting a lot of work on this drive for Texas. Makovic calling him one of the smarter players that they have on the team. Here's a guy, Ricky Williams, who broke Earl Campbell's rushing records in his freshman and sophomore seasons.
Really close. Look at that, 2,453 to 2,466 yards. Yards per game, very close. The only thing is, remember, Earl Campbell had that monster year, senior year, where he had 1,700 yards. David Aaron in motion on 2nd and 5. Williams lunging forward for the first down, or at least close to it. Melton making the tackle, number 87 for Rice. He's out of Houston, but it's a Texas first down. And they are just getting a little bit at a time on this drive and moving the ball downfield. Under 6 minutes to play now in the third period. A look at the workhorse on the afternoon for Texas, Ricky Williams. The big thing about Ricky Williams is that a lot of his yards come after contact. Great after absorbing that first hit. A pass, Brown incomplete. Tried to find Derek Lewis on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. You know, it's odd they threw the football right there, Mark, because they've been running so well with Ricky Williams. And Gary Reasons, he's got to have what you really want as a running back in that professional league in the NFL.
I think he has a good package, John. He's very complete. He obviously looks very quick, and that reminds me of Barry Sanders. And he looks a lot like Walter Payton with his lunging and straightforward running. He's a power runner as well. He's got a lot of lower body strength, and that's important for a running back.
All right, Gary, 2nd and 10. And it's Williams again, doing his best Payton imitation on that play. Falling forward to the 18-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. And about 6 to go. Sadler and Melton making the tackle for Rice.
Well, you can look at the Rice players. You can see they're huffing and puffing a little bit. Terrence Melton right there, 97. They're getting worn down a little bit trying to defend this run. They're giving up 50 pounds to those big guys on the other side.
Yep. 3rd and 6. Williams, remember, officially a walk-on, paying for his own education. Brown's going to pass. Into the end zone, a flag down on the play, and we may have some kind of interference. David Aaron was the intended receiver. McCullough in on the coverage for Rice.
Yeah, there was a lot of jostling between the two of them, and this call is going to go against Rice.
That's against Adolphus McCullough, number 22.
Right at the bottom here, you'll see David Aaron and Ladolphus McCullough going at it. There's some bumping now right here while the ball is in the air. McCullough turns back, but he hand checks Aaron right there, and then the flag comes out from the official, and that's the interference call.
That's an automatic first down.
And that's a key conversion for the Longhorns.
And there's a look at Clifton on the ground for Rice.
Well, it's a double minor, actually, if you want to use a hockey term. There's holding and pass interference, both called against Rice.
Well, they put it on him, didn't they? Puts the ball on the 3-yard line of Rice. First down and goal to go now for Texas. Trailing by 10 points.
I don't know why this isn't half the distance. The ball was at the 19.
It was.
Now they spotted at the 3.
Backs out of the eye. Brown and Williams. It's going to be Ricky Williams. Touchdown, Texas.
Uh-oh, and I think he got a flag. Might have done a little something in the end zone. But you know what? I mean, a great play, great touchdown there by Texas. But, you know, the ball was at the 19, and they get it at the 3. They marched off 15 yards.
That's what you call room service.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be half the distance to the goal.
Flag down in the end zone after Williams scored the touchdown.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Ricky, no doubt.
Boy, well, I didn't see that. Did he say something?
No, I think he did a little something. They call that, as you know, not very consistently in college football.
Yeah, it's tough to legislate emotion in this game.
But the rule is on the books. Ricky Williams comes through the left side. See the pulling guard right there. Gets a good block. That's 65 Travis Wood. Now right there, a little high step in the end zone.
Boy, I don't know. That's what
you know. That's. I'm all in favor of that rule, and I know a lot of people aren't. But that, I mean, if you high step through the goal line into the end zone, I don't think that's showing up your opponent at all.
He took 3 steps. That's not egregious. Unbelievable. Phil Dawson now with a 35-yard extra point. He'll have to work a little bit for this one. And he knocks it through to cut the Rice lead to just 3 points. Ricky Williams from San Diego, California. They call him Little Earl. There's why. Texas pulling closer when we come back. Here at Rice Stadium, I'm Mark Jones along with John Spagnola and Gary Reasons. Texas cutting the Rice lead to 3 points.
You know, just to clarify that point, the reason the ball was on the 3-yard lines is a new rule this year. And that's when you have pass interference, the ball is 15 yards penalized all the way down to the 2-yard line. That's a good rule because that kills the blatant interference call where you don't get that 15-yard penalty. Sure.
This is Perry at the 2. Perry staying with his legs, taking it up the middle, out to the 27-yard line. A 25-yard return, the tackle made by Jim Clark on the play. 4:34 to play now in the 3rd period. Rice leading by 3. And on Rice's last possession, quarterback Chad Nelson took them down the field, and he himself took it into the end zone. Actually passed once on that drive.
It was a very efficient drive, and Rice actually needs another one. I mean, this is the game. It's a 3-point game now in the 3rd quarter. Texas had a great drive for a touchdown. It's kept the pressure now on this Rice offense.
There's Benji Wood, the fullback, knocked down at the 35-yard line by Donald McCowan of Texas.
You know, up until now, Wood only had 18 yards in this game, and that was the part of this triple option that Texas has taken away from the Rice offense. Nelson has 80 yards, Perry 108 yards. But there you see Wood breaking out, and again, it just shows that there really isn't a weak link here. All 3 ball carriers doing well. 25 yards now for Benji Wood.
2nd down and 2. Nelson hands it off to Perry. Michael Perry has nothing but real estate ahead of him, and he's eating it up. Touchdown Rice. No flags on the play.
Texas got caught in the blitz. Tried to get some penetration. They tried to make a play in the backfield, and when that happens, and you don't have your gaps covered defensively, the result is a touchdown. Watch, you'll see Texas. There's number 51, David, coming through on the blitz. He doesn't get a tackle, and there's overrunning inside by Renfro, number 46. There's Perry off to the races for a touchdown.
Michael Perry had 123 yards running last time against Texas.
Watch Perry inside. And right there, once he makes that cut inside, there's nobody filling that gap because Neva had already gone through on the blitz.
Grimes makes the extra point. And that has to be so deflating for Texas after scoring, having Rice come back and getting 6 more on the board. Michael Perry has run for 174 yards, a career high, with more than a quarter to play. There's a look at running back coach Larry Brinson, the man with the headset on with his hat to the back. And his running backs have learned their lessons well. And here's a look at this week's Home Depot Coaches Fact. Larry Brinson, member of the Cowboys Super Bowl teams in 78 and 79. Went back to school, got his degree. And Larry Brinson has done a good job coaching these athletes at Rice. Graduate of the University of Florida. coached with Coach Hatfield at Clemson as well.
And we saw him on the field the other day.
Good shape, isn't
he? He looks like he can still play. He's got those big running back legs of his. I bet he broke some tackles. Looks like he still can.
Grimes getting set to kick off. Rogers Mitchell back deep for Texas. And Texas will start off on the 35-yard line.
Kickoff out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Take a break and go to John Saunders in New York. John?
Mark, North Carolina battling back against Virginia. Dre Bly, just a sophomore, returns this one 15 yards on the interception. 13th regular season career interception. And they've also recovered a fumble. They're deep in Virginia territory. It's tied at 20 apiece. Meanwhile, Jim Knight, the official that collapsed during this game, the crowd has been told he's now in stable condition. Mark.
Right back to the action. James Brown wants to get some, and he got some. His receiver complete at the 23-yard line, Jamel Thompson. Boy, they didn't wait long, did they? Brown airs it out complete for 40 yards.
Jamel Thompson, number 12, working one-on-one now with Sadler. He makes an inside move, and Sadler is thinking he's going to go to the flag or run a streak pattern. Man, he does a nice job of adjusting to the football right at the very end. And let's see James Brown throw this football. Oh boy, you know, when the field is, look how wide open it is. You just heave it up and let your wide receiver run under the football. Good job by Thompson making the adjustment to the ball.
Quickly, first down and 10 from the 25. Ricky Williams bouncing it outside. Ricky Williams with his, did he make it? Still with, touchdown Texas. His third touchdown of the game. In 2 plays, Texas took it into the end zone.
Well, we saw a quick strike by Rice. Now there's Ricky Williams. He's working out of the fullback position there. Starts to the right side and just makes a very good cut over pursuit. Now watch him extend into the end zone. And you know what? He won't even get a penalty for that, for showing off, will he? Great awareness of where he is. Watch that left foot. Oh, man. Is that... Boy, that is great athleticism, isn't it?
A cerebral play, too, by Ricky Williams. That is his 4th touchdown of the day. And in 2 plays, Texas comes right back at you to cut the lead down to 3.
So we have 2 two-play drives, one by Rice. Michael Perry goes in. Big pass play by Texas. And then Ricky Williams takes it. We're right where we were a couple minutes ago.
Might want to call him Big Earl instead of Little Earl.
You know, when Perry broke that run, I wanted to, say maybe they scored too quickly here. But Ricky Williams, after being shut down by UCLA, is having himself a terrific football game today.
And now it is time for Ken Hatfield's crew to try and counter. But wow, what a great performance by Ricky Williams today.
The Owls' drive took 58 seconds. The Longhorns' drive took 37 seconds.
John, does Ricky Williams look a little quicker and faster to you this year? We saw him a lot last year. To me, he seems a step quicker, maybe because of the weight. I'm not sure.
I mean, to me, I always thought he was a great back. I can't see a whole lot of difference in how he ran last year. I think a lot of, maybe you see in quickness is maybe more decisiveness because he's seen a lot as a running back. And, he's been in every single situation possible now after 2 years. I mean, that cut he made right there, that was quickness. That was just great vision.
Dawson's kick will come down to Perry, 3 yards deep, and he'll take a knee. Let's go to New York and John Saunders. John, what's up?
Mark, at halftime, we talked about the outstanding play of Charles Woodson. Well, how about this guy for the Heisman Trophy? Randy Moss hauls this one in 58 yards. He now has 2 touchdowns in the game, so that's 40 on his career in his 20th game. He has 11 this year. Marshall leads Ball State 14-0. Mark.
Randy Moss is big time, Johnny. He's big time. The Thundering Herd of Marshall. Did a good job at Division 1A now.
Yeah, he sure is. He's got to be one of the best in the country.
The fans making a little bit of noise now. Nelson keeps it, and Nelson has a Rice first down. Brought down by Quentin Wallace. Mel Thompson making a big catch moments ago. Gary Reasons has more.
I tell you, Mark, when they came off the field, the Rice defense, Hardy McCreary kind of went off on his defensive backs. I think it was a blown coverage for them. He had the whole defense on the sidelines, really giving them a good going over, and I think they're going to go out there a little more intense next time. It was definitely a blown coverage in my estimation.
I don't know. Sadler was one-on-one. I mean, he just got beat inside.
Maybe expect
there was no free safety, and you know, you don't have a free safety with this Rice Owls defense. They sell out defensively.
They give it to the first man through, the fullback, Benji Wood. Starting to get a little more time and some more carries here in the third quarter.
Maybe that's what Gary's alluding to, that there wasn't a free safety, and there should have been a free safety because the corner was isolated all over the football field on that reception.
Wood getting 6, got on first down. It's 2nd down and 4 now for Rice. Look at the Rice defense getting a breather. Could be a short one. The way things are going. Benji Wood again. Boy, is he a tough inside runner or what?
How many guys are attached to him? 5? 5 Longhorns holding on to him at the end of that play.
White jerseys were just moving south.
He kept those pads low, kept those legs driving, and actually when a Texas player jumped on the pile, it helped push everything forward. Well, we have, what, 539 total yards rushing in this football game. This is a throwback game, isn't it?
This is supposed to be the age of the forward pass in college football, but not today.
Yeah, 1967, I feel like it is.
Timeout down on the field. Not sure exactly why the official blew his whistle. You saw that rushing yardage total by Rice. They average 347 yards on the ground per game. So they are right near that game average. Okay, let's do it again. First down and 10 for Rice. And Perry is brought down at the 48-yard line. A great game going on in Chapel Hill. John Saunders, tell me more.
Well, Mark, we showed you Dre Bly tying the game with his interception return for a touchdown. Watch Oscar Davenport in the pocket, nowhere to go. Runs out of it, spots Algie Crumpler, and gets the 10-yard touchdown pass. And Carolina has come back, now leading this game 27-20. Mark.
Boy, I can't believe Oscar Davenport got that pass in.
He's really come of age as a quarterback. That's nice to see. He's worked real hard to get where he is today.
There's Chad Nelson. Pitch to Perry. Perry lowers his head and makes the first down.
I'll tell you what, once again, though, 4 Texas defenders dragged for the first down. Second half tackling has not been nearly as good as it was in the first half.
Well, speaking of good football, 9 o'clock this Monday, NFL, ABC Monday Night Football, San Francisco 3-1 at the Carolina Panthers at 2-2. It's Carolina's first appearance ever on Monday Night Football. Jacksonville had theirs a little while ago. 2 expansion teams not playing like expansion teams. Carolina defeated San Francisco in the playoffs last year. Here to the fullback. Benji Wood again hammering away. Picking up about 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Ray Mosier making the tackle. Well, the last time these two teams met here in Houston 3 years ago, the winning margin was a tenuous 2 points for Rice. After 45 minutes, they lead by 3. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
This is college football on ABC Sports.
Back at Rice Stadium in Houston, Texas on a warm, sunny, late September afternoon. The Rice Owls with a 3-point lead over Texas as we begin the 4th and final period. Ken Hatfield's team looking for its 3rd consecutive win. 2nd down and 6. Nelson looking for a crease. Can't find one. It closes up quickly. John Spagnuolo, it seems like fatigue is becoming part of the equation now.
Well, I think it is. I think whenever you run all over the football field offensively, it always seems that the defense wears down. And Gary Reasons, as a defender, why is it the defense gets more tired than the offense?
Well, John, I think it's a big factor because most times defense are used to substitution. You're not getting a substitution here. There's no 3rd down passing game, not even a 2nd down passing game where the linebackers have a chance to drop out and be out of the contact. In fact, they're in contact every play, and this offensive line is just driving. And you know as an offensive player that confidence builds with that offense, and defense, it's just frustration.
And when you face that wishbone, it's just pound and pound up.
It's a battle of attrition right now.
There is. 3rd down and 4. Nelson on the pitch. Perry drops it. Texas has it. Michael Perry had 1 man to beat on the corner. Joe Walker made the fumble recovery, and Tony Holmes made the critical hit for Texas.
That play was set up well for Rice. Tony Holmes came in and made the hit on Perry. Perry's very upset. He's probably going to wind up running the stadium for that mistake.
That is a huge break for the Longhorns.
Yeah, it sure is. The play set up real well. Again, Nelson making good reads. He's got to get rid of the pitch early because of the pressure on him. I watch Holmes come in, helmet on the football. There he goes, up over, and the recovery by Texas.
This secondary, which includes Holmes, has been much maligned during the early part of the football season for Texas, but he made a big play there. He's considered the best tackler in the Texas secondary, and he made a huge play there. 1st and 10, Texas with the ball. James Brown has been in control all game. Hands it off to Ricky Williams. 1st down, Texas. And Ricky Williams picks up 13 on that play. McCullough pushing him finally out of bounds.
You know, Ricky Williams runs the football, too. It just seems as if everybody's a step slow now defensively, and nobody seems to be near him.
And the 4th quarter is not a good period for the Rice Owls. Outscored by their opponents in the 4th quarter, 24-9 this year. First down and 10. Williams in motion. On the out pattern, complete to White. White makes a nice move and picks up another Longhorn 1st down on the right side of the field at the 49-yard line. Sadler pushing him out of bounds. James Brown looking good on that pass. And it's testament to his courage that he's lasted this afternoon.
Well, Brian White had a big cushion on that wide side of the football field. Rice giving him an awful lot of room to operate right now.
1st and 10, the toss to Ricky Williams. Cuts it up inside and tackled at the 48-yard line. Ricky Williams, a 2-sport star, has a nice summer job playing baseball for the Piedmont Bull Weevils. As we mentioned earlier, he was batting well over 300 at one point during this off-football season, that is. And he started thinking about football, and he slumped a little bit, but nice little bat.
Big crowd at the game. That's single-A baseball right there, isn't it?
Not too glamorous, lots of long bus rides, but
well, he has fulfilled his obligation, though, to the Phillies by playing there 3 years.
Well, we're not talking home runs, but James Brown and John Makovic are trying to hit one out of the park right now. We'll be right back. Well, if you don't believe us when we tell you that there's searing heat down on the turf, look at those pictures. And look at those fans. John, we could use a shower about
Absolutely.
now, too.
Get that garden hose up here.
It is hot. And so has the Texas offense been hot in the last couple of drives. 2nd down and 9. Brown going up top.
Great coverage.
Complete at the 15-yard line. McCullough, like you just intimated, John, breaking it up.
Yeah, they're trying to get Ricky Williams down the sideline. He's going one-on-one, but, you know, the guy you don't want to match him up with is McCullough, the cornerback, who has great coverage on him. I think when they put Williams in motion, they expected a strong safety or somebody else. This is good game planning by Hardy McCrary, the defensive coordinator, knowing what Texas was going to run and matching up with the cornerback. That was a mismatch in favor of Rice.
It's 3rd down and 9 for James Brown and the Texas offense. They get him out of the pocket. And he's almost picked off, trying to find Thompson again. It was Thompson who caught the big pass in their last drive, but not this time.
I think James Brown tried to get a little bit cute there, trying to feather that ball in there. Thompson, number 12, you can see there he is breaking out. Now, Brown just tried to feather it up over him and allow him to go up and get the football. 6 feet, 187 pounds, but again, it was almost picked off by Sadler, number 27. Brown got away with one there.
Yeah, he did. He's 11 of 16 today for a total of 143 yards and has had one picked off. Schultes punting from his own 39 for Texas. Under pressure, flag down, and they ran into the kicker. McCullough with the fair catch on the 15. But they ran into Schultes.
Might be Andy Clifton, number 82, and that's a critical mistake here against the Owls. Rice doing well defensively. Let's see if Clifton comes through. There he is, extending for the football. Boy, he just catches Schultes as his foot's down on the ground. That's
I'm not so sure that he got him close. Gary Reasons, what do you think?
Well, Mark, they left their defense on the field, and I saw Hardy McCrary. He actually called punt safe, which is where these guys contain the run or actually a fake. Andy Clifton's not used to rushing for punts. He came clean, not used to taking a look there either. You know, it's just a bad situation there for the Owls.
Much to the chagrin of that man, Ken Hatfield, the head coach of Rice. So James Brown and the offense back onto the field for Texas. So, John, you look at the fumble by Rice when they had the ball,
right,
and this penalty that keeps the Texas drive alive.
They overcame the fumble, but they may or may not overcome that mistake right now and that penalty.
Look at the numbers for James Brown out of Beaumont, Texas. The holder of 22 school records, including most touchdown passes and the most 300-yard passing games in school history.
Not much of a year so far. He's just over 200 yards on the season.
So a week ago. Here's a little counter. Ricky Williams down to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 7 to go. Reynolds making the tackle for Rice. That Rice team defensively, the coach is telling us that they'd have to contain both Ricky Williams and James Brown. Easier said than done. At least they got a little help in the respect that James Brown is not as mobile as he normally would be because of that ankle injury. Second down and 7 for Texas. Lewis in motion. Out of the backfield, Ricky Williams. Tried to make a move, but couldn't get it done on number 34. Nice tackle that time. That's the safety, Huffman.
Yeah, Huffman's very good in run support. And he stayed right on top of Williams as Williams tried to duck underneath. So the Longhorns are really using Williams a lot in the passing game. They're trying to get the football to him as many ways as possible.
That's Phil Dawson on the sidelines. He's the one that could eventually get a chance to tie the game should this drive stall. It's 3rd down and 2. Ricky Williams again, pushed out of bounds, and he has the first down at the 20-yard line. Ricky Williams with a burst of acceleration.
And this is why Texas has the ball right now. Two key plays that led to this drive. Perry right here takes the football, gets hit by Holmes, and that ball pops out. And Texas recovers, and they began the drive, and then Andy Clifton, when Schultz is punting the football, number 82 comes through. You can judge if it's a penalty or not. Yeah, it's just enough on that left leg, and that punter is awfully vulnerable in that position.
Timeout down on the field. Rice wanting to think it over. We'll be right back. Texas with the ball deep in Rice territory here on a beautiful, sunny, hot afternoon at Rice Stadium. Texas trails by a field goal. They fake the counter. Brown's going to run it himself. And Brown down to the 15-yard line, about 5 shy of the first down.
Yeah, he's upset with himself. I think he wanted to pull off and throw the football once the defense was forced up to him, but he realized that he was beyond the line of scrimmage and it would have been a penalty against him.
James Brown has really played within his limits today physically.
I think he has, but he's showing a lot of emotion, and this is what this Texas team missed against UCLA, and that's the presence of James Brown, the big play capability. You see number 12 coming open. Thompson in the corner of the end zone, but it was too late at that point.
They give it to Williams. That's exactly where he fumbled last time, but not this time. Touchdown, Texas.
Look at Williams, make sure he just hands the football to the official. About as understated a touchdown as you'll ever see.
And Ricky Williams, John, has 5 touchdowns today.
Well, I think this Rice defense had to play on the edge a little bit. They have to take chances defensively, and they're just getting worn down physically. It's just a mismatch in size and skill between the Texas offense and the Rice defense.
Dawson in for the extra point. The school's all-time leading scorer knocks it through to give the Texas Longhorns a 35-31 lead. Ricky Williams finding a crease. They call him Little Earl, and that's the play that Big Earl certainly is proud of. Texas leads when we return.
In 1965, this UT art student was the first freshman chosen to the 10 Most Beautiful on campus. In Hollywood, her TV role as an angel and the best-selling poster of all time made her a cultural icon. She earned admiration for dramatic roles with multiple Golden Globe and Emmy nominations. And when she died in 2009, she added to her UT legacy, leaving her priceless collection of art to the Blanton Museum. Farrah Fawcett. She's a Longhorn legend.
All right, John, back here. Chad Nelson has run for 114 yards on 21 attempts. Right at his average. His team trailing by a converted touchdown, though, with 1:26 to play in the 4th period. Perry hanging on to the ball with 2 hands and gang tackled at the 28-yard line, right near the line of scrimmage. Aaron Humphrey leading the charge that time, along with Babineau. Humphrey, right there, number 49, started at defensive end today. He's the team's best pass rusher, and he was freshman All-American in 1996. Had 3 picks against Rutgers in Lubbock, Texas.
But they feel he plays better in tight space, and they wanted more speed on the defensive line, and that's why he made the switch. And I think he's going to stay there for the rest of the year.
You figure that's a better move for them?
Yeah, I do. And then you get Brandon Ava, who can come in and play well. At the linebacker position, he's a hitter, and you need more physical people on defense.
Well, for Texas, this is the beginning of a long, long road trip for them. The first of 4 road games. And who would have thought that this one would have been so arduous for them? Next week, they play at Oklahoma State. But no doubt, for Bobby Jack Wright, the man in the middle of the huddle right there, the coach, they're thinking about the immediate task at hand. That is holding on to this margin against Rice.
Yeah, both schools pick up their conference schedules after this game for the rest of the way. But I think that's a good timeout right now called by Chad Nelson. Minute 16 left in this football game. And he wants to talk things over, let his troops rest a little bit, get back with this drive.
And don't forget that we have the possibility of overtime.
And we have the new rules in overtime this year. After 2 overtimes, you have to go for 2. And who knows? It may just come to
the way it's gone. You fill in the blank. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now for Rice. Nelson under heavy duress. Gets rid of it. Incomplete at the 12-yard line. But Texas brought heavy pressure that time.
He's trying to get the football to Rod Newhouse, and Nelson initially, great surge up the middle. Boy, Akins comes clean. How could you not account for number 96? And then just as he's getting popped again, he gets rid of the football, and he almost gets it to Newhouse. Anyway, Akins initially on the pressure, and then more pressure. Wow, and that's a big hit on. I look like number 50 hit him. Cedric Woodard.
Did he ever?
Wow.
Hit him the next week, and we have an injured.
You know, that would
player.
almost be a penalty in the NFL. I mean, he had his head down and followed through and everything else.
The player down there on the field is Chris Akins, who we were just talking about.
Akins has had his share of injuries over the last
has.
couple of years. For a guy that's as strong as he.
You know, he had knee surgery.
Problems, yeah.
Knee surgery in the spring. Not quite in game shape. Well, the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Ricky Williams of Texas. That was a no-brainer. And Michael Perry from Rice.
It's a double no-brainer.
Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. It's been a Chevrolet tradition for more than a quarter of a century.
I guess if it's a double no-brainer, you and I are responsible for making it.
Ricky Williams getting a breather on the sidelines while his defense takes care of business.
You know, going back to Akins, who's still being tended to on the field. You mentioned his knee surgery. You know, last year he had an ankle problem, a hip problem, an arch problem. So he's had his share of injuries over the year, and you got to wonder, you know, this helps the Rice offense. They get a timeout, they get to talk things over. It's a critical 3rd and 9 situation. They don't have to use one of their own timeouts. And boy, I hate to see the truck come out on the field.
Yeah, that's not a good sight. Akins, a senior, and we'd mentioned, you know, this knee surgery. It will take obviously a couple of games to really get into the type of condition and fitness level that the coaches want him at. Now he's up on his feet.
All I like to remember is Akins coming through, and as he avoids or misses Chad Nelson, he gets caught awkwardly. Look, he's trying to get him right there, and then he spins. Well, you know, you certainly don't want to get another view here and see if anything happened to those legs. He grabs that right knee.
Yeah. He banged it on the turf, John, as he went down. And now they have the card out. They're going to take the big fella to the sidelines. He already, as you can see, is wearing a brace on the left knee.
Yeah. Well, let's hope he's all right.
We've got some other big people behind him to substitute. Most notably, a true freshman, Leonard Davis, number 98.
I'll tell you what, these kids on both sides of the football have really laid their hearts out today, haven't they?
They sure have, John.
Proud of both schools.
A moment of truth for Rice on 3rd down and 10. Nelson keeps it. Fighting as he may, he's short of the 1st down by about 3 yards. 4th down, and they have to go for it.
You know, Nelson almost got chased down backside. You're going to see pressure coming off the backside. I thought he was going to get caught here from behind, but watch how he picks his way through. Humphrey almost gets him from behind, but I mean, a lot of people should have him. Look how he picks his way through, keeps fighting, keeps fighting.
The 4 of 5 on 4th down conversions. They give it to the fullback. Looks like he got the 1st down.
man.
They have 2 timeouts remaining. Rice does. Pardon me, 1 remaining with 35 seconds to go. Texas has 2 timeouts left.
And they just called their last timeout. So it is going to get real interesting because Rice has to start thinking about a hurry-up offense. They're going to run the football and they don't convert a first down or get out of bounds, Mark. They've got to run up and spike that football now.
Do you run your options to the sidelines? Is that one of your choices, John?
I think you run the option. I think you've got to throw the football. I mean, you're down in there, and you've got to take some chances throwing the football in the end zone.
Well, so far today, Jason Blackwell, number 80, has caught 2 passes for Rice.
That's not to say they won't try to run the football on first down, but again, if they run and it stays in bounds, then they have to run and kill the clock on second down. Now you're running out of downs. So with no timeouts left, I'd be surprised if Rice didn't put the ball in the air. This is when you've got that one great play that you've been working on. And, you know, Rice has worked on a lot of plays. They've told us all off season and all through training camp that they have not used yet in the game. This is the chance to get the mothballs off one of those, dust it off, and use it.
Chad Nelson has improved his passing ability during the offseason. Coaches say that he specifically is better with his footwork and his drops and his timing. So this would be the perfect time to display that improvement. He's 2 of 5 today, total of 26 yards, both completions going to number 80, Jason Blackwell, who's lined up to the top of your screen. 1st and 10, 35 seconds to go. They trail by 7. He keeps it. Nelson in a crowd and down at the 12. The clock running with 28 seconds to go.
And now they have to spike the football or do something.
And those Texas players, John, are slow getting off the pile.
Sure are. The officials noticed that and called an officials timeout. They'll rewind the clock now.
Dusty Renfro, number 46 of Texas, was lying flat on the pile, not getting up.
But they are taking their time.
And the clock is still running. This is killing Rice. Nelson keeps it himself. They run it to the sideline, and Perry steps out of bounds with 8 seconds to go. Just as you said, John, when you're a running team, it's tough when you're working with that little clock.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Ken Hatfield has had great success with this offense, but I think you got to put the ball in the air early on this series. You can't run it in the middle and then go right back to not spiking the football and trying to run it again. I mean, now you've got 2 plays, 8 seconds. They've got to try it, you know, if Nelson can throw the football better, they have to try and get something out into the end zone or out of bounds.
Jason Blackwell is split to the top of your screen. 3rd and 6, 8 seconds to go. Godfrey split to the bottom of your screen. Nelson back to pass. Looking Blackwell's way on the fade. Incomplete. 2 seconds to go.
He had a chance working against Quentin Wallace, number 9. I think if Nelson let go of that football a little earlier, this football's in the air right about now. Blackwell's got a chance, but see, it came up a little bit late. You can see when the football was thrown. It's just too late. The timing was off on that pattern, but believe it or not, the play was there.
This will be it. The last and final gasp effort for Rice. Blackwell again split to the top of your screen. This is it for Rice. Nelson to pass. Comes the other way this time. Gets rid of it. Incomplete, and the Longhorns win it. The drive dies deep at the Texas 12 for Chad Nelson and Rice.
That's too bad for Chad Nelson. What a heroic effort by him and this whole Rice football team. Little questionable stuff at the end of the game in terms of clock management by Rice, though. They could have done probably a better job throwing 4 passes and trying to run on first down there with no timeouts left, Mark.
Great chapter in the rivalry and the series between Rice and Texas. Texas improving to 2-1 now in the season. The final score, 38-31. Don't forget, coming up next, folks, Notre Dame at Michigan. For John Spagnola and Gary Reasons, I'm Mark Jones. We'll see you later.